Do you really think you know Chris Brown? Get ready to test your memory. Today, we're diving into every version of this music industry chameleon, from prodigy to pop legend to controversy magnet and everything in between. In just 10 minutes, you'll see all the transformations, scandals, glow-ups, and dramatic turns that kept the world talking about Breezy, whether they loved him or hated him. Because Chris Brown is not just one artist. He's 1,000 reinventions, and each one comes with new moves, sounds, headlines, and of course, jaw-dropping moments. Which Chris Brown era was your favorite, and which was the one you'd rather forget? Don't blink. You might just miss the version that shocked you most. Ready to relive every twist and turn? Let's break down the wild story of Chris Brown, one version at a time. CB teen sensation. Let's rewind to 2005. Picture this. Chris Brown, just 16 years old, bursts onto the scene with Run It. Instantly, the world knows his name, and every kid on the block is trying to nail his dance moves. This is the CB teen sensation era. The smile, unstoppable. The energy, off the charts. Chris is everywhere. Radio, MTV, award stages, and magazine covers. He's got the boy next door charm, but it's obvious. This kid is not just another one-hit wonder. He's raw talent dressed in baggy jeans, fresh sneakers, and too much swagger for a teenager. But here's the kicker. Who else could drop a debut album that hits double platinum before they can even drive? Chris set the bar high for every rookie dreaming of R&B stardom. Do you remember the first time you heard Run It? Did you know right then this kid would be a star? Or did you think it was just another flash in the pan? Let me know in the comments. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Because the next version of Chris, things are about to get seriously interesting. The Young Heartthrob. Fast forward a couple of years and CB isn't just the neighborhood new kid anymore, he's everybody's crush. This is the Young Heartthrob era. Chris drops With You and hearts worldwide go into meltdown mode. Paparazzi can't get enough. The award shows? He owns the stage, gliding and spinning like nobody else with every swoon-worthy move timed perfectly for teenage cheers. It's not just the music. The style is sharp. Sleek jackets, killer smiles, and just enough attitude to keep things interesting. Every magazine and red carpet wants a piece of Chris. He's collaborating with the biggest names, making headlines for the hits, and let's be honest, the dating rumors. Question is, was this the golden age of young pop icons, or was Chris just getting warmed up? Drop your memories from the With You era down below. And don't go anywhere, because things are about to get a lot more complicated in version 3 of Chris Brown, The Broken Idol. Now hold tight, because this is where the story takes a serious dive, the Broken Idol version. In 2009, Chris Brown's star power wasn't just shining, it was crashing hard. The world was rocked by the news of his violent incident with Rihanna. Headlines exploded everywhere, social media erupted, and suddenly the boy who had been America's sweetheart became the most controversial figure in the music industry. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a career earthquake. Awards were shelved, tours postponed, and the media painted Chris as the villain overnight. Fans were divided. Could they separate the music from the man? Could Chris Brown bounce back from this? The harsh spotlight forced him into silence. A pause that everyone hoped would be a lesson, a comeback memo, or the end of the line. But was it really the end? Or just another version waiting to rise from the ashes? Did this shocking chapter change your perception of Chris forever? Or do you think it was unfair? Drop a comment with your thoughts. And buckle up, because the next version of Chris Brown is all about resurrection and reinvention. The Redemption Dreamer. Count Chris Brown out? Not so fast. The Redemption Dreamer version shows that just when everyone thought Breezy was down for the count, he pulled the unexpected, a comeback that no one could ignore. Chris hit back harder than ever, dropping, "Yeah, 3X. Look at me now." And let's not forget, grabbing that Grammy for FAME. He wasn't just apologizing, he was reinventing himself, blending dance, R&B, a splash of rap, and even more jaw-dropping choreography. The public was torn. Some cheered for the comeback king, others kept their distance. But everyone was watching. It was redemption tour mode. New look, new sound, new attitude, but the same electrifying stage presence. Were you rooting for Chris to rise, or did you think it was all just for show? Does this version count as a real comeback, or was it just damage control turned up to the max? Shout out your thoughts below, because you know this story's far from over. What comes next is Breezy at his boldest. The genre bender time to flip the script. Enter the genre bender version of Chris Brown. If you thought you had him figured out, think again. Post-comeback, Chris decided labels were for record stores, not artists. R&B? Sure. Pop? Of course. But why stop there? Suddenly, he's rapping, dropping EDM bangers, hopping into hip-hop collabs, and throwing down features with everyone from Nicki Minaj to Tyga. Every new release, you'd hear a different sound. A mashup of influences and unexpected sonic experiments. Loyal had everybody singing along, and New Flame burned up the charts. The only thing predictable? That Chris would never be predictable. Was this the era where you felt Chris unlocked his wildest creativity? Or did he lose you in the mix of genres and collabs? Who was your favorite Breezy collaborator during this time? Tell us below, because trust me, the ride isn't slowing down. Up next, the most controversial, unfiltered version yet. The tabloid troublemaker think Chris was done stirring the pot? Not a chance. Welcome to the tabloid troublemaker version. By now, Breezy could barely step outside without making headlines. Sometimes for his music, but just as often for the chaos surrounding his name. Controversy became his shadow, haunting every release, every post, every late-night tweet. But guess what? Even with the tabloids in overdrive, Chris kept dropping heat. No Guidance blew up the charts, and the internet. Hate him or love him, you couldn't ignore him. Every scandal seemed to come with a smash hit hot on its heels. It's like Chris and drama were locked in a game of musical one-upmanship, and somehow his fans kept winning. Did all the drama just make his legacy more complicated? Or did it add to the legend? Are you team forgive and enjoy the music, or team too much trouble for the talent? Sound off in the comments, because at this point, we're entering true icon territory, the living legacy. And here we are, the living legacy version. After all the twists, turbulence, rebounds, and reinventions, Chris Brown stands where few can, still climbing the charts, still packing stadiums, and still rewriting how an R&B superstar survives the chaos. These days, Breezy isn't just dropping albums, he's defining eras. Every release feels like a headline event, with fans and critics racing to weigh in. TikTok dances, viral moments, endless debates, love him or hate him, Chris is unavoidable. He's become the blueprint for surviving in a world that loves to build up, tear down, and obsess over comebacks. His influence is untouchable. New generations are discovering his old hits, and fellow artists keep lining up for a feature. But with every track, there's still that edge. Controversy fans the flames, and the story's always one hit away from a new chapter. So is Chris Brown a cautionary tale, a redemption saga, or a living legend with the power to shock us all over again? That's up to you. After all, every version leaves its mark. Which version of Chris Brown blew your mind? Which one made you a fan, or lost you along the way? Hit the comments and join the debate. And remember, when it comes to Chris Brown, there's always another version waiting to be revealed. And now, it's your turn. Who should we break down next? Drop the name of the artist you want to see in the next Every Version episode right here in the comments. The most requested singer might be our next deep dive. Don't just watch, take over the channel with your choice.